Welcome to MMAPlay365. I'm Newsome and I'm here to give you the Base AI, the UFC prediction software recap from last weekend's event at UFC Paris. Now the straight percentage prediction accuracy across the board was 58%, so it was a little lower than what we like, but remember there's way more to Base AI with the UFC prediction software than just straight pick prediction accuracy, which this recap will show and prove, as we've got two absolute gems to break down for you. The first section we jump into is the value section. We need to talk about the main event, Ciryl Gane versus Tai Tuivasa. Now, of course, this was a winning prediction for Base AI. However, Base AI did say that the betting line should be much closer than what it actually was. Ciryl Gane was around a minus 550, minus 600 favourite. But Base AI had Tuivasa to win at 47%. So it was basically saying that Tuivasa shouldn't have been out at a 4-1 underdog. It should have been around plus 113, which is a drastic difference. And even me looking at that pre-fight, I was thinking, yeah, I think Ciryl Gane is probably rightful as a minus 500 favourite. But actually, you look at the way the fight played out, sure, Ciryl Gane ended up finishing Tai Tuivasa, but man, Tai Tuivasa nearly knocked Ciryl Gane out. So that money line was actually completely off. And Base AI had this absolutely spot on, in my opinion. It predicted the winner of Ciryl Gane, but said the fight's going to be much closer than it actually was. And like I say, it's impressive because for me as a handicapper, I looked at that pre-fight and like I've already said, I didn't think that it was going to be that close at all. I was expecting Base AI to have Ciryl Gane up at 75%, maybe even higher against Tai Tuivasa, but it didn't, and it showed that the UFC prediction software is actually on point in what it was predicted in that main event. So the next value spot to talk about, Jarno Errens versus William Gomis. Now, Base AI picked Jarno Errens to win at 58.36%, so it was saying it was almost a coin flip. Odds implied on that is plus 101. Now, of course, William Gomis did win, so it was an incorrect prediction from Base AI, but the fact that William Gomis was a big favourite, you could have had Jarno Errens at plus 180, plus 200, and the fight went to a majority decision. That tells you everything you need to know again about Base AI. Even though it had an incorrect prediction, it was saying that the fight is actually much closer than what the bookies are saying it's going to be and what the public are saying it's going to be. And again, it was correct. The fight was much closer than the betting line suggested. It's, again, a slightly incorrect pick, though, with Jarno Errens. But from a value perspective, the value side, if you were betting that fight was Jarno Errens, that's what Base AI stated. And again, from a value perspective, a really good job there from Base AI. Now, into the next section, the gems. So the first fight I want to talk about, Quinonez versus Khalid Taha. So Quinonez was 56% to win this fight, a correct prediction from Base AI. And at 56%, odds implied, that's minus 127. Now, you could have got Quinonez at around plus 100 at close. Earlier in the week, he was around plus 125. So you could have got him as a plus money underdog. And Base AI said he should have been a very slight favourite. So there was value there if you wanted to bet the money line. However, we go one step further. Quinonez to win inside the distance was 34%, so that's knockout and submission added together. Plus 194 odds implied at 34%. But you could have actually got Quinonez to win inside the distance at plus 350. Even one book had it at plus 525. So whichever way you're looking, whichever book you go into, plus 350, plus 525 compared to Base AI saying it should be plus 194. There's a tremendous amount of value there as well. But then you take it one step further. So Quinonez to win via KO TKO, which of course he did in round one. KO TKO was 27%. Odds implied, that's plus 270. You could have got plus 600, plus 700 on Quinonez to knock Taha out. So again, the amount of value, Base AI saying, sure, plus 270 is a high number and it's probably not a likely outcome, especially at 27%. But when you're playing the numbers and you're looking at the numbers and you can see you can get plus 600, plus 700 on a bet that's currently being stated as plus 270 from the UFC prediction software, then again, there's a ton of value there. So again, that's gem number one. Now moving on to gem number two, and we've got Roman Kopylov versus Alessio de Chirico. Kopylov to win the fight, 53%, minus 113. Now, Kopylov did close at around minus 120, but if you'd bet him earlier in the week, he could have got anywhere from plus 130 down to plus 100 as the line was flipping. So, you know, you could have got him as a plus money underdog at the time that the AI predictions were released on the MMAPlay365 website. So there's a ton of value from that perspective in regards to the money line, but it gets so much better. So Kopylov to win inside the distance, 48%. So bear in mind, there's actually only 5% difference between inside the distance, the knockout and submission added together, versus the money line. So if you are using Bayes AI to bet the fight, then you're going to be looking at inside the distance, 48% odds implied, that's plus 108. You could have got Kopylov at plus 350 to finish that fight, which of course he did. And he finished it via KO TKO. So you look at Kopylov, we go further. Kopylov via TKO, KO at 46%, odds implied, that's plus 117. But this time you're getting plus 400 on the betting line, value there. And we're going to move one step further, and I think this is the first time that I've ever seen anything this crazy, and this is the ultimate gem I think that we've had with Bayes AI, the UFC prediction software. We go one step further. Kopylov, KO TKO in round 3 specifically, 31%. Now, considering the KO TKO was at 46%, and you're getting 31% for a round specific, plus 223 odds implied, you could have got a plus 2,000 ticket on Kopylov to win via KO TKO in round 3 specifically. That value is just unbelievable. But what I enjoy more about this prediction in regards to the round 3 being at 30%, the fact that it was that high in a specific round tells me that the AI absolutely knows two things. It knows that Kopylov was a pre-5 round fighter that comes on stronger in fights if he can get fights going a bit longer. And it also tells me that the AI knows that Chirico has had problems further along the line in fights, later into fights, deeper into fights, and he's put them both together and come out with that prediction. And it's absolutely played out in that way, because this fight was probably 1-1, or it was very close going into round 3, and Kopylov just put that finish on Chirico. Like I said, a ton of value, an amazing prediction, amazing accuracy in what Bayes AI is looking at in that fight as well. So I'm super happy with that gem. And like I said, for me, that's the ultimate gem that I've seen so far with Bayes AI. But on that note, as always, everything is transparent here at MMAPlay365, and there is one fight that is, in my opinion, a really bad prediction, and that was the first fight of the night, Ailin Perez, who was actually, by the way, the Bayes AI underdog of the week versus Stephanie Egger. Bayes AI had Perez to win at 58%, odds implied, odds implied minus 138, so saying she should have been a slight favourite. You could have got Perez at plus 200, so if you're looking at that pre-fight, you're thinking, wow, there's a lot of value there. But actually, when I looked at that, I thought, I've got no idea why Bayes AI has had Ailin Perez as a favourite in this fight, because I thought that Stephanie Egger was going to roll all over her, which she did. So for me, again, it doesn't happen every week, but every now and again there will be an off prediction from Bayes AI, and there was one last week with Ailin Perez and Stephanie Egger. But like I said, the pros and the good predictions always outweigh the bad predictions. And like I said, with the gems that I've spoken about, the two gems, the ultimate gem, you know, it's a really phenomenal week from Bayes AI. Really impressed with what I've seen, and I can't wait again, as always, to see what Bayes AI predicts for UFC 279 next week, especially the Khamzat Chimaev versus Nate Diaz prediction. I'm really interested to see how Bayes AI sees that. But until then, I'm Newsome. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again next week.